They tell me that the third time is charming, so I guess we have no choice but to turn it all the way up to 11 and keep this train a-rollin'. Welcome to our third annual Festivus adjacent holiday episode here on the Implausipod, where we close out the year just past, 2025, and look ahead into 2026 and see what the future has in store. We're not going to air our grievances because, to be honest, there's been enough beef to go around in 2025, and from what I understand, the price is just going to get higher as we go forward. You see, we've done the math and run the numbers, so let's take a look at our accounts in this bonus episode of the Implausipod. Thank you for joining us for another holiday episode of the Implausipod, where we say thanks and congratulations for the year just past and look forward to the year ahead. Consider this our rap-style summary, which is kind of en vogue this time of year. Looking at it in terms of stats, we'll have about 14 podcast episodes published by the time you hear this, along with about 75 blog posts and 8 more issues of the newsletter, and I think that's a fantastic amount. I didn't really do a word count, but it felt like more somehow, so that would put us over the 100,000 mark. I'll double check and verify that for you. Again, we're not really focused on the numbers. What's more important is the themes and the topics that we're covering. And on the podcast, all the stuff that we were looking at was mostly sci-fi. We did cover some other topics too. We looked at current sci-fi in terms of Andor and Predator releases and how the elements there both reflect and shape our ideas about technology, society, and the culture at large. I think Andor specifically, both at the time it aired and even now, really captured a lot of the current moment, and it was essential that we included an analysis of what was going on there. And in a different way, our work on the WYCU, the Weyland-Yutani Cinematic Universe, is capturing the current moment too, though you have to look at that in the kind of the big picture way. While we're still in the middle of releasing episodes for it, what that series is really about is humanity and what humanity looks like in the future, and those post-human and transhuman conditions and what that actually means for us in a world where AI is added to everything and AGI is incipient and around the corner. Or so it seems, and that gets to the third main theme that we covered this year when it comes to AI, whether we're looking at automatically generated music in the spirit of the 80s or automatically driven cars and automobiles, when we went streets ahead. And I think that's just the nature of it. If that's where the discourse lies, then that's what we're going to be looking at. We'll see where we end up taking it in 2026. Taking a look at the channels as a whole, we did a few new things in 2025. We added a PeerTube instance for those of you who don't like YouTube and divorcing ourselves a little bit from some of the current platforms. We're also thinking about doing some short-form videos on loops, and right now the PeerTube is just basically mirroring the YouTube videos, which have what replaced Google Podcasts, so they're pretty basic, I'll admit. One of the things we're working on for 2026 is to really change the nature of the video content we're putting out, so I hope you stick around with us for that. I think the main takeaway from 2025, though, is that we checked out for a few months this summer, and it took a while to get back. Now, there were some reasons why I needed to take a little bit of a break, but it does feel good to get back to it. Of course, the break and the reasons for it was a challenge, as the episodes we started working on in 2024, like Streets Ahead, Terminus Est, and Spirit of the 80s, would have been timely if we could get them out when we started them, but they seem a little out of step when they're delayed. It's a bit of a problem. It means we're not moving on to other new and current stuff the way we'd like to. So the other thing I'd like to do is to try and speed up the time from draft to delivery to get something out to you more timely. One of those ways that can be more timely is on both the blog and the newsletter, and I'll admit I'm still dialing those in, getting the right mix of new material and current releases, as well as talking about what we're doing here. We did put out a fair chunk, though. What all did we release? Well, we talked about the bad ideas, we looked at some movie and media reviews, we talked about the WYCU and cybernetic machines, current discord around AI, mauve pills, ditch diggers, creativity, and some of those ideas are new to the world, which I like. It's one of my sources of motivation for doing this, and some of those things we're talking about are also about putting a spin on something that exists and is out there. We took train trips, looked at networks of resilience, went beyond where the robots go, and talked about allographic art and ancillary technology. And that year went by fast. Well, some people might be saying that 2025 was a long decade, and it feels it, don't get me wrong. It also seemed to just go by in a blink. And from that blink, we're just going to open up our eyes and take a quick look around at all the people that managed to tune in during the course of 2025. I don't get detailed stats, but as tradition, I'd like to just give a little shout out. So thank you to Dublin, Ireland, and Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Newcastle, Delaware, Osnabrück, Germany. Thank you for listening. We are worldwide, and that is just stunning to me here. Though we don't have any listeners from South America yet. We'll have to work on that. If you're in Rochester, New York, or Minneapolis, Minnesota, Berkeley, California, Dallas, Texas, thank you. Flint, Michigan, Oklahoma City, Seattle, Washington, and Meridian, Idaho, thank you. We might not get back to the States for a while, but we're appreciative of you, and we thank you for listening. And thank you to the listeners coast to coast in Canada, from Victoria, BC, to Petersfield, Manitoba, to St. Catharines in Montreal, and all the way out east. Your listening is much appreciated. I hope you stay with us in 2026 and beyond. We've got a few things we're looking forward to. We're going to wrap up the WICU and finish off Fallout Season 2. And from there, we're going to be diving back into some more of the academic work. There's a few seeds we planted back in 2024 and 25, and we want to see if they're starting to bear some fruit. We'll continue doing some media archaeology to see what the past has to say about the current condition. But that requires a not insignificant rewatch of some 70s sci-fi, so we might bring that to you a little bit later in the year. And most of all, we're going to continue bringing you those implausibilities, the look at the new and emerging technologies and where those ideas came from. Because ultimately, that's what started the Implausipod and what we're all about. So I hope you're able to join us next year and take a break during these holidays and celebrate in whichever manner you choose. Until next time, take care and have fun.